How long are you people going to be down for?
We're going to leave tomorrow.
Are you really?
Tomorrow morning, and then we put our house on the market, and then we go from here.
Okay, great.
Yes, but we put the contract on ours, though. Oh, yeah.
People call me and say, Vince, I got a problem. I got a plug in my foot. Would you come and look at it?
Isn't that cute?
And I don't mind.
I know.
Love them.
They're very precious.
I bet you're talking about Phyllis and Shelby.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I've known him, like I say, for 34 years.
Yeah, right. Well, then you belong to the church that integrated up there. The Shelby had, or were you one of his parishioners in Hancock?
No, no. Art, we have all, our neighborhood is all in with Syria and Liberia and all that kind of people. And they, well, I accept they're kind of pushing that. But, it's sad that they're, that happens all the time too. Because I've been in that church.
Yeah, we did that at Christmas. We did it, sure. We had the big candles behind. Do you need that light on yet?
Somebody took my idea.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
They come by during the day. When the seven people are here. You want to give them a message?
Like you, 2, 3. Come tomorrow evening. Oh, there. 7 o'clock. Coffee and dessert. So, are you ready for this?
I'm ready for anything.
So, Carol Campbell wants to have a few remarks.
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think of something good to say about it. It's really hard to find it. I can think of all sorts of other things to say about it. I want to tell you a little story about this gentleman. A number of years ago, one Wednesday morning, after we had had a morning prayer service, and at that time we had the lay readers do them on Wednesdays. I had just finished having a morning prayer service and was fixing to lock the front doors. Everyone had gone. And I looked around, and this nice-looking young little gentleman drove up in the car and got out, came to the door as if he owned the church. I looked. He said, "Is this the Episcopal Church?" I said, "Yes. Certainly isn't the Baptist." He said, "This has to be the Episcopal Church." Yeah, I wasn't robed with the whole works, crossovers, the whole works. He said, "Well, I was just riding around and looking the place over and thought I would stop and see this church." So I asked him to come in, and we toured the church, and we looked at all of the things inside the church. And then he told me that he was retiring in Maryland. I thought, well, I don't know if we can stand that or not. We've got a lot of them from Maryland down here. I spot a few back here. But anyway, he seemed to like the place. So I said, "Well, why don't you come down and stay with us a while? We'd like to have you here." We like anything new, and you'd be new bait for us. We'd work you over down here. Well, he showed up later and came down. And he brought his wife. And he became a part of this parish. And I mean a big part of it. He got close to everybody in it. He's the kind of person who does things for people at all times. He looks out for the other man. He never thinks of himself first. And that's, you can't say about many people. He has made a place in this parish that will always be his. The people here love him, in spite of all of his faults. He's got a big place in our hearts, and he's got the biggest heart for such a little man that you ever saw. So now, Shelby, I'd like to show the people just why you're such a good man and you've been such a good priest, almost 50 years at it. I'm going to ask Phyllis to stand up. There's the power behind the throne. Now you can stand up. You know you always have to take seconds to leave. Phyllis has worked hard in this parish, done a lot of good work, and all of you women know that. You've all worked with her. And she's always there when she's needed and always gives her best. So what better could we ask of any couple than from these two? Phyllis, you already have your flowers on.
I
didn't
do
you?
that.
Well, that's
They
good.
gave them to me early.
You know, ladies are always first. You learn that in the South. If you just go down here, you'll learn that fast. Phyllis, this is for you
For me, I
from
do
the
it.
parish.
Thank you.
I guess I'll have to say that you deserve this one. This gentleman is, he likes to say that I'm his grandfather.
He's 1 year older than I
I'm
am.
1 year older than he is. And he hasn't let me forget it in the last 8 years I know. This is a little remembrance from the parish.
Thank you very much.
And we thank you for all that you've done.
Let me open it and I'll...
You've been great.
Oh, I hate to tear this pretty paper.
Oh, there, here we go.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh, dear. Gotcha.
Keep moving.
Holy cow.
Holy cow is right. My gosh.
And that doesn't mean you're going to take another trip.
You think so? I got news for you.
As your grandfather, I'm telling
You're
you.
gonna do. Carol.
Oh, gracious. Oh, thank you. Everybody needs a baby.
You might be seated. The king has just left. Carol, you'll never know how deeply appreciative I am of this wonderful gift that you all have bestowed upon Phyllis and me. That's, he said it was 1983 when we first came down here, and we looked up and down the Grand Strand. We're living on this side of of Myrtle Beach, and we were looking on this, we at all the churches. And the minute we walked into this church building, first of all, Carol Camel was there to greet us on a Wednesday. We found him by accident. And on Sunday, when we came in the first Sunday we were here. Verl Brown back there, Mr. Resurrection, greeted us at the door, and I said, "This is our church," and never even met the rector. But here are two good lay people. Lucky day for us, Shelby. A lucky day for me. And you've been stuck with me ever since. But this has been a real thrilling experience being a part of this parish. Being associate rector on 2 different occasions, the interim rector on another one, and I've just retired for the 4th time, I think. And so I want to thank you all very, very much for the opportunity of being a part of your family and being part of the Resurrection family. Somebody asked me the other day, he said, well, now that you're retired, I guess you're going to be moving away. I said, moving away as long as I'm paying a mortgage on my house, I'm not staying here. Thank you very much.
Shelby, on behalf of the wardens and vestry, I'd like to present you with...
Oh my gosh! This is just too much. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you all, too. I'll think of you every night when I go to bed with that. And this one, too.
Oh.